sweeter than a honey bun. Sweeter than a honey bun. Something you ain't never done. Sugar you ain't never done. When I already won. I don't need no baby daddy's brain drum. Got too many coins to only be your baby mom. You can't tell me nothing, nope, not nada. I be going ghost when I don't wanna be nada. For real though, I'ma keep it real though. For real, sometimes I do the most when I only be in chill mode. I don't even try, and you think I be in kill. Just slip the t-shirt in a comfy pair of jeans. For real though, it's better than the other one. Swaggy sweeter than the honey bun. Doing something you ain't never done. Rock a beat when I already won. Get your own coin, shawty, get your own purse. Get your own coin, shawty, get your own purse. Get your own coin, shawty, get your own purse. Get your own coin, shawty, get your own. I got my mind on that business, time too limited. If it ain't relevant, I ain't even interested. 30 and 5, Envision Entertainment. If you ain't talking payments, I don't entertain. I'm much better than the other one. I'm better than the other one. Sweeter than the honey bun. It's sweeter than the honey bun. Something you ain't never done. Something you ain't never done. When I already won. Get your own coin, shawty, get your own purse. Get your own coin, shawty, get your own purse. Get your own coin, shawty, get your own purse. Get your own coin, shawty, get your own. If you got your own coins, go on. If you got your own purse, let your mama carry on. If you got your own coins, go on. If you got your own purse, let your mama carry on. Go ahead, little mama, just flex a little bit. Show how to little bit so you can show you. Go ahead, little mama, just flex a little bit. Show how to little bit so you can show you. Go ahead, little mama, just flex a little bit. Show how to little bit so you can show you. Go ahead, little mama, just flex a little bit. Show how to little bit, show you.
All right, it's your boy, comedian Edwin Douglas, and we're on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show. That's right, we're on YouHeardMeFirst.com, Spotify, Spreaker, and of course, iHeartRadio. We have a great episode, and looking forward to introduce you guys and everyone, our guests. But before we do that, let me introduce you to my DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben. And of course, later on at the bottom of the hour, we'll bring in the one and only Robin Lynn Maben, which she will be bringing us the update news on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together all the way from New York. New York, she is a multi-talented producer, multi-talent producer, and also she is a motivation speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the one and only Robin Richie. How you doing?
I am fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Great. A lot of people don't know how hard it is to organize and produce anything to make things great, such as films, live shows, television shows, and radio. Could you tell all of us, before you started doing the things that you're doing today, what was some of the gifts and talent that you were doing when you was a teenager, a young lady?
Well, to be honest with you, that answer is very easy. Since I was knee-high to a doorknob, I knew that I always wanted to have a career in the arts. And to be honest with you, I can't ride a bike, I can't swim, I can't jump rope, I can't rollerblade, I can't roller skate, or any of those wonderful things that, most of us grow up doing when you come from an inner city community or anywhere for that matter. But everything that I do today in the arts is what I did, to be honest with you, as a child. So it was something that these are God-given gifts And fortunately, my mom, God bless her soul, she raised me to believe that I could do anything. And she was my greatest cheerleader. And because I have multiple disciplines, so in other words, I'm an artist, and I dance and theater and all of these, and write and all of these great things in my background, she encouraged me to do all of that as a child because I expressed an interest. And so I'm just very thankful for that pathway, for the horizon that was laid out for me. I'm very thankful.
Wow, amazing. The early days in your journey, you said you was a dancer, your mom was your cheerleader, she motivated you, she supported you in everything you were doing. Did you have any issues with any other young ladies or young girls being jealous of you because you were doing all these things?
Well, unfortunately, that comes par with the course. And I will tell you, and again, what I do today didn't start when I was a teen. What started when I was a teen, actually, my first professional speaking engagement, I was a teen. When I first broadcast on radio, that was at 17. I had a lot of milestones as a teenager, but this had already started when I was in grade school. So to answer your question, yes. And there was a period of time whereas, to be perfectly honest with you, to appease others, I tried to douse my own light. So in other words, hey, I'm okay, but don't pay me any attention. Look at Edwin, or look at Robin and Lynn, like they're really great. And what I realized was that when you have, number one, when you have God-given gifts, and when God is at the center and the forefront of your world and what you're doing, and even at a time where you might not really know, or that relationship hasn't strengthened or deepened, but you could be, I realized about myself, I could be brick and mortared into a space like I'm in an Edgar Allan Poe poem, but that light will always shine through, because the light isn't me, it's the gift that's in me that's God-given. And for anyone who's in that circumstance or that predicament, and when you find yourself compromising yourself to appease other people, no one wins. No one wins. So ask me who those people are today. The ones who used to tease me, ask me who they are in my life today.
And 9 out of 10, it will be family members. Okay. Yes, because I've been in the game for a long time, and you will think kinfolk, cousin them, uncle them, your best female cousin will support you. And things, I mean, we all go through it, and I hear it in your spirit, and I've gone through the same thing, just like many others that who in the spotlight or who working so hard to stay focused for achievement. Okay,
right.
And so I can relate to that, but it motivates me. The motivation. I said earlier, the reason why I said multi-talented, you're more than multimedia producer. I've done a background check, and I was like, wow, she's more than what she told me. So that's how I came up with the word multi-talented. Okay? And so with that being said, from teenager to doing broadcasting, producing, and many, many, many other gifts that God ordained in you, which one of the gifts is your favorite one?
Well, that's an easy answer too. But I just want to say for the record that for me, it really wasn't family members because I'm an only child. That's a whole nother conversation. Perhaps you'll ask me on another time,
right.
Or you'll be on one of my platforms, and we can talk about that. But no, those people, and I just want to, I don't want to digress, but those people who, exhibited the jealousy and the envy and all of that, that was really, really early on, really more like grade school, to be honest with you. And even though I've encountered it on occasion in my adulthood, I'm easy breezy. You know what I mean? Like I don't entertain that sort of thing. So they don't really, you know that they are there. But to be honest with you, they're admirers. And I'm not being ostentatious or anything. I mean, it's really what it is. And it's misplaced or misdirected emotions. Jealousy and envy are wasteless emotions, to be honest with you. But getting back to this, what you just asked me in terms of one, there is no one, because each gift, each talent, right? And the Bible speaks of talent. They are all interchangeable.
Okay.
So I could never pick writing over theater, because why? It's one and the same. My art, just all of those different things. The public speaking. I don't perform anymore, and when I say perform, meaning I'm not jumping off of stages, dancing. I do choreograph. I do still choreograph and whatnot. But yeah, I couldn't let go of one because they are all a part of me. That's like, those are your limbs. That's your air. You know what I mean? So
gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So motivation speaking, motivation speaker, who inspired you or motivated you before you actually start carrying that title, motivation speaker? Who inspired you? Who motivated you?
That's a wonderful question. People that others might find obscure, people whose voices aren't readily known. Those are the elders, that I grew up with. I'm originally from Sugar Hill, Harlem. And I grew up with an appreciation for the voices of elderly people and older people, because I embraced wisdom, and I love to learn, and so I just found their stories fascinating. I was kind of corny, I guess, to some, but I found their stories fascinating, and the truth, because being a creative person, when I listen to you speak, I don't have to be physically with you to be able to see this picture unfold. That's how my mind works. So, my mom inspired me to embrace excellence. I had educators, teachers, the nosy old lady down the block with the blackened elbows who stayed in a window day in, day out. You know what I mean? So it comes in all sorts of different ways, but not necessarily. Now, artistically speaking, I have influences that people might, I'm sure that they would know or have heard of. Very early on, I was drawn to, the movies with Rat Pack, and, I loved people that some of your listeners might not even know who they are, like Barbara McNair and Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. and this one and that one and that one and I'm a little girl watching, this talent, but I had enough sense to know that it was the stuff that true legends, are made of. And so, but, inspiring me at all sorts of different people, children, we can learn so much from them. You know what I mean? There's a freedom that children have, that when we become adults and we're grown and we're sophisticated and we're jaded and we're this and we're that and we're all these things, but with children who haven't, been exposed to a lot of the corruptibles out here, they're inspiring. You know what I mean? So,
wow. Wow, amazing. Let's say if I had 2 tickets to be given away, and I'm going to name 2 phenomenal, great speakers, and I had 2 tickets, which one you rather see and hear to be motivated by? Person A, Reverend Al Sharpton. Person B, Michelle Obama.
Okay. Well, I have to answer this very carefully because I don't want to offend either.
Okay.
He's making me choose, listeners. He's making me choose. No. To be honest with you, I have not had the pleasure yet of meeting our former First Lady. And I say that to say that Reverend Al Sharpton, who I have a great deal of respect for in his initiatives and, what he's done, irrespective of, arguably what anyone else might think, I know that he has made a significant contribution to us as a people, which, benefits everyone, not just Black people. And that's wonderful. However, I find him to be more tangible. Like I've called into his radio station before. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have an opportunity to sit down and to converse and to smile and to kiki and to hold hands and sip tea and say, to a woman who looks just like you, okay, that who sat in the most important position or place in the United States of America and, the free world besides her husband, who, history that I don't know if I could have imagined, and my imagination is great. I don't know if I could have imagined I would have lived to see that. So to have that opportunity to sit down and to break bread with her and talk and to listen and to learn and laugh and to know that every little girl out there who looks just like me can be in the same position. So I've got to say, Michelle Obama. I've got to say that.
Very good.
Al, I love you. Reverend Sharpton,
Very good.
we'll talk later. No, we'll talk later. But I'm getting my tickets tomorrow.
Okay, very good. On this show here, I ask all my guests, um, if you don't mind, could you tell all of us one of your trial and tribulation that made you become the woman that you are today? Just if you don't mind, just tell us one of your trial and tribulation that you may have gone through and came out of and made you the woman that you are today.
Wow. There are many. I look at myself and I reference myself often as having a Cinderella life, okay, so to speak. Magnificent highs, and there have been some valley lows. I want to say, and I'm going to start and end with this, which was losing my mom at an early age. She had heart disease and passed away from a stroke, and I was 12 when she had the stroke, and she remained hospitalized for 4 months, so she never talked or walked again. And I was for a brief period of time in foster care, and I mean very brief, like 2 weeks, before I was transferred to a group home, and where I remained probably for about 1.5 years, just under 2 years. And it was a very, very difficult time in my life. And I do come from a single-parent household. My father, God bless his soul, he's passed away also. But my mom, believe it or not, just 2 weeks ago actually marked the 41st anniversary of her passing. Okay. And so during that time frame, it was very, very difficult for me because the person who was my protector, my nurturer, the woman who wiped away my tears, the woman who rocked me to sleep, the woman who was so funny, the woman who I would teach all the latest dances to once I finished watching Soul Train on Saturdays, was gone. She was gone. But I will tell you that I did not know just how treasured and how loved I was by God, okay? I didn't know that then. And he placed angels in my life. These were, the principal of my school and teachers and the parents of friends of mine, because at this point now I'm going to school in Riverdale in the Bronx. Even though I was living in a group home at the time, and now I'm going to a new school, my best friend was the first millionaire friend that I ever had, and that was at age 13. You know what I mean? So there was always some sort of rainbow. And again, I had just enough. I had my mother in my life just long enough to instill in me this belief that anything that I wanted to do, or when I say that, meaning my dreams and goals, that they weren't far-fetched, that because I was a little black girl originally from Sugar Hill, Harlem, didn't mean that I couldn't, do these things, which was to do everything, to sing, to dance, to write, to draw, to act. The only thing I don't do is play an instrument. I really, 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 really wish I played an instrument. And my father, I didn't learn until many years later. I was an adult. I had no idea that my father played piano like Scott Joplin. Honestly, I'm no exaggeration. So when you ask me that, there were a lot of trials at that time, and I had a beautiful stepmother who rescued me from that group home and some of the things that were happening there. I was the youngest girl, the smallest, and she and a couple of other angels that got put in my path, she rescued me from that. And all of these God-given talents that I've told you about that I had since I was a little girl who couldn't see over a counter, Richie was her name. That was my stepmother's name. She is the one who paid for all of my dreams. She's the one who, at 15 years of age, I was in a college preparatory courses, for the summer that I was 15 at Pratt Institute. She's the one that NBS Broadcasting Studio at 17 years of age, it's now defunct, but it used to be across the street from Macy's. I was the youngest broadcaster there. I was 17, okay? And so many other things. 15, I was going to HB Studio, pursuing acting, improv, to be exact. So out of that pain, and there have been some, there's certainly been some, there have been a few harrowing experiences, clearly, since then. But I will tell you that the strength that, we always have in terms of black women, we're often referred to as strong. We're strong. We're so strong. I'd like for people to really think about what does that mean? Because I'm not strong on my own, but I'm very pink and fluffy, to be honest with you. But my strength comes from my protector. My protector is my maker. So we're more fortified when we know these things and just getting to that bridge. So, that was the pinnacle part in my life that today I can talk about, and inspire beautiful young girls and boys who, and I'm very open to that. I'm always happy to speak to children who are in the foster care system or whatever, just to, let them know that someone does love them and sees them as beautiful and brilliant and capable.
Amen. Wow, my eyes got water. Listening to you, Robin, how God ordained the gift inside of you the day you were born.
Amen.
How God have given you favors through your mother, through your dad. Your parents was a prayer warrior. And when people pray all the time, day and night, morning, late, sunshine, rain, they're connected to the connector. And when God accepted prayer requested by a believer, then they have been chosen with favors and passed it on to their children. And hearing you sharing this story with all of us, look what God did. Pass on the gift into you so you can pass it on to the children and the young women and adults. Everything that is built around you and for you with your name on it. That's why I changed the name from multi-producer to multi-talented. So when you're called in, I promise you, I'll let the Holy Spirit come in. My producer can tell you, we don't write nothing. We listen to God, we listen to our guests, and we all educated our listener who tune in around the world. Wow,
Right.
amazing. Before we let you go, tell everyone what to do, what you got coming up. The microphone is yours. Go right ahead.
Well, once again, I just really and truly appreciate this opportunity to do so. To be perfectly honest with you, as an executive producer and host, you probably know this yourself. You're usually the shoe is always on the other foot. You know what I mean? I have. I mean that's what it is, right? So I have an arts and entertainment cable multimedia production company, which was the springboard from a cable television show that ran consecutively just under 2 decades in northern New Jersey and in all of New York City. So it was never national. I'm not Oprah, sorry to say, ladies and gentlemen, those of you who are listening. But the name of the show was Imagine That with Rob and Richie. And I essentially in 1999, I wanted to create a formidable platform to provide for other individuals, talented individuals. And the hook of the show, to be honest with you, we've had, Emmy winners and Adelco winners and certainly multi-Grammy winners. Darlene Love, whom I adore, has graced Imagine That with Robin Ritchie twice. And you, of course, know, she has a stellar background. And since then, of course, has been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And people of that ilk, as well as new and emerging talent. So that has now I'm not broadcasting on air, but I'm certainly still very, very, very active in the arena. And most recently, I didn't even tell these guys how much of a crush I had on them when I was a child, but I had the opportunity to interview the group Tavares, and you know that they have, really pretty much formulated the soundtrack to many of our lives with all of their phenomenal music. And so anyway, I have that, and I also am a public speaker, and I facilitate master classes in public speaking. How to Conquer Your Fear of Public Speaking is a very popular one. Another one is Embrace Living in Your Purpose, and the third most popular I find is Change Your View, Change Your Life. So, of course, I have other workshops as well, but those are like really the primary ones that people really come out for. And I am the executive producer and founder of Women Level Up NYC Empowerment Symposium. And I have a team of dynamic women who, from every facet that you can possibly think of, we cover everything from financial sustainability to spirituality, to wellness and health. Really, that really turned out to be something that I had prayed for, which was to bring about transformational experiences that go beyond the day that we get together. And then finally, it had really been on my heart to produce something for our men. Because, as you know, Edwin, just read the headlines. Our men are dying all over. And I, earlier this summer, in June, I produced a 3-part men's open forum, which was virtual. And we had 20 guest speakers and 3 entertainers, so it was entertainment each day. And as I said, this was a 3-day virtual men's open forum, as well as phenomenal keynotes. And we were addressing everything from systemic racism, socioeconomic disparities within communities of color. We talked about PTSD with our black and brown men, And the third day, and of course education, we talked about that as well, and the importance and the relevance of that. But the third day, it was a lot lighter, if you will, in tone. And we celebrated Black and brown fatherhood, which was wonderful. Yeah, so this was Father's Day weekend, actually, that Thursday, Friday, and we concluded that Saturday, June 20th of this year. So those are initiatives. Those are some of the things that I do. And then, you know, I also produce for other people. You know what it is. We're always working, even in this pandemic, even during this global monstrosity of a virus, which has, you know, just really and truly turned our world upside down on its elbow. Even in the midst of that, I want to encourage your listeners. And for me, all of these things were virtual, what I produced this year. And my life has been on the stage, Edwin. You know what I mean? Like a TV station, a radio station, like the back of my hand. I had to adapt to this whole virtual conferencing platform. But it's either adapt or fall by the wayside. And there's too much work to do. We've got too much to do, and someone's got to do it.
And you are doing a phenomenal job. Ladies and gentlemen, now she said multimedia producer. I'm telling y'all multi-talented producer / forward motivation speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, one more time for the lovely Miss Robin Richie. Thank you. Thank you. We will keep in touch. You said a whole lot of things that I'd like to sit down and talk with you. And but we will keep in touch. Keep doing what you're doing, and God will continue to open doors and take you to a whole nother level that you did not see coming. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I thank you so very much again. Thank your listeners, and I wish the very, very best of you. This is the best of times and the worst of times, but we know who we are, and most importantly, whose we are. So God bless you in your ministry, because this is your ministry, and what it is that you're doing, and thank you so much again.
Thank you. To be safe, you stay masked up, stay prayed up. Like I tell everybody, just do it. If not, die trying. You be good, you stay out of trouble, and we will keep in touch.
Thank you. Wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a quick music break, and we'll come back. We're going to come back with You Heard Me First update news. Don't you guys go away too far. You heard me?
Let it be what God say. They don't have to understand why I do it God's way. I believe Yahweh always make a way. The blood on the cross that paid it all. So even when I don't see, I know that He holds me, controls every single detail of my story, directing me, protecting me, expecting me to live so you can see He's blessing me, and I'm never defeated. In every season, I've got a reason to believe Him. With God, the impossible is never an obstacle. He moves the immovable, stops the unstoppable. God, yes, the great I am, and who could turn back His outstretched hand? I know I'm for myself, and I believe what He said. I feed my faith and starve these fears. No matter what I see, no matter what I hear, no matter what I feel, I will not fear. No matter what I see, no matter what I hear, no matter what I feel, I am making it clear. Let God be true. Yeah. And every man be alive. Let God be true. And every man be alive. You see, my God is too big, my God is too great for me they say, what they feel, and what they think. They walk by sight, but I walk by faith. Bigger the mountain, greater the blessing. I'm too blessed to walk around here depressed, stressing and worrying when God already told me, if He before me, nothing can destroy me. Feeding my faith from the word of God, and I'm letting the seed take root in my heart. By His stripes I'm healed, I shall live. The number of my days God will fulfill. I'm the head and not the tail, above and not beneath. A Linda with all grace abounding towards me. See, this walk of faith wasn't made for the birds. Confess God's word, possess what's yours. No matter what I see, no matter what I hear, no matter what I feel, I will not fear. No matter what I see, no matter what I hear, no matter what I feel, I am making it real. Let God be true. Yeah, I'll say, and every may be a lie. Let God be true. And every may be a lie. Hey, I know sometimes you go through things in life and you're not quite sure how it's going to work out. But if God said it, I believe it, because His word would never return unto Him void. So let God be true. Yeah, alright. And every may be a lie. And let God be true. Yeah, and every may be a lie. And let God be true. Yeah, and every may be a lie. No fear, just faith. Say no fear, just faith.
This is the boy, comedian Edwin Douglas, and I am the host of Uheardme First Radio Talk Show, and this is Uncle Ben, DJ Sidekick. That's right, we want to thank everybody around the world for tuning in. The only radio talk show that brings in real people that tell real stories to entertain your spirit and soul. Yes, get with music and of course get our laughs on. But don't forget to tune in, because we're always on demand on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker. Yes, of course you can Google us on the Robin Lynn production. And guess what? We also will be on Roku and much more, just like I am streaming. Don't forget, you heard me?
Hello, I'm Robin Lynn Maven, the CEO, creator, and producer of Vibes Live. We have over 2 million geographical listeners reaching 200 countries with non-stop music 24/7. Just tune in on vibeslive.com.
All right, it's the boy, comedian Edwin Douglas, and we're back on You Heard Me First Radio Talk Show, right along with my DJ sidekick, Uncle Ben. And of course, somebody is knocking at the door, and that is our engineer, producer, Robin Lynn Maben. Come on in, Robin.
Hello.
Maben.
Hello.
Wow. Now,
Great.
there's a few things I'm gonna ask.
Episode.
Yes, there's a few things I'm gonna ask you off the air, but you already know what it is. But in the meantime, I'm gonna ask you, what did you learn from our guest, Robin Richie?
I learned to definitely stay in your lane, which is God's gifting for you. And His gift, in His gifts for you in your life, you will find your purpose, and great success, I might add. How about that?
Beautiful. And what I like about it, both of y'all have the same name, Robin. Even though we call you Robin Lynn, but today we have to let our guest be Robin, and that's who she is. Uncle Ben, how you doing? Uncle Ben. I am so proud of Robin Lynn and you, Mr. Douglas. Why? Because I am so proud what you two are doing. I can't spill the beans. I just can't wait to September the 1st. Yeah, y'all blowing up. Uncle Ben, y'all blowing up in the way. Uncle Ben. Well, thank you, man. Thank you. But
Thank you, Uncle
since
Ben. Uncle
yes,
Ben, thank you.
thank you. Since you saying we both blowing up in the way, how about you give us that drum roll? Uncle Ben, you got it, buddy. All right. Today on You Heard Me First Update News, well, we're going to talk about school and coronaviruses and how a lot of parents and teachers are trying to figure out how to do social distances if everyone returns back to the classroom. I'm going to start with you, Robin. Your thought. Do you think they should take it in consideration to do online or homeschooling instead of them going into the classroom? I mean, just give us your opinion.
I think that homeschooling, online schooling, should be the only schooling that's allowed right now. The you it they it's crazy to send the young. Watch this. I think they said that the young kids they don't get as sick from COVID. That's what they're saying. That's why they're saying it's safe for them to return to school, except for they return to homes with people who are at risk. So, and then it's not feasible to wear a mask for 6 to the 8 hours that they're in school. And it's
I
not
agree.
safe.
I agree with
It's
you
not
because
healthy. I mean.
it's not healthy. Because
Mhm.
if they say the clubs are closed and the movie theaters are not reopening at all, then they're
Uh-huh.
trying to say no. If they had the club and restaurant open, no dancing allowed. So you're gonna put all this nonsense, which it makes sense not to do the clubs and the dancing and the bars. And why wouldn't the hell a group of
Yeah.
people want to put their kids at risk? We're talking about from 8 a.m. to 3 to 4 p.m., uh, 10 minutes break, maybe 15 minutes break in between classes. The hallway is packed. You can't do no social distance in the school and kids wearing the mask all day long. Come on. So
Yeah.
I agree with you, people, parents. If you are listening, please enroll your kids into homeschooling, or if the school system have created virtual online, take advantage of that. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. The government, the president, the attorney, lawyers, the superintendent cannot make you make your child come to school because you are responsible for any decision that you make for your child. As long as they've been registered and showing proof, certification with the state that your child has and your family have chosen for them to go homeschooling, they cannot do nothing. Not even the police, not even the government. So don't get paranoid. Now, for those who are trying to figure out Well, I got to go to work. I don't have a job. I need to take care of my family. I want my kids in school. No. Take your time and start planning. Save your money. Do the best you can. Find someone that you can trust to keep your child as like a babysitter. Because I promise you, like Robin said, it's no way. And then when your child come home, it's not so much of the age group, the whole family will be COVID-19. Then you're really going to have a real problem because the whole family has coronavirus. Yes. I thank you for that, Robin. And Uncle Ben, anything you want to say? Uncle Ben, don't mess with my truck. Oh, punk, shut up. Robin, you hear about the truck? Worrying about don't mess with your truck.
Yeah, just, he was doing fine right up to, he always got to say something smart. That's why, you know what, just put him back in the trunk with his brother Jerry, all right? Just stuff him in the back of the trunk. There you go. Uncle Ben.
The only announcement I have is the book. My book is coming out September the 1st. Yes, titled Between Me and God, My Faith, My Dream. We will keep you guys posted where you get your copy. Probably in the next couple of weeks we'll make more announcement, all the announcement. We have one more surprise for you, but I'm going to wait. And anything you want to promote, Robin? Anything? Vibe Live? I am streaming? Anything you want to add to
that? Well, we're going to be launching new chat. Oh, wait a minute. We're going to be going. The big upgrade is happening at the end of August, the last week of August, and all of our channels, our television stations, will have the ability to stream live. Yes, directly on Roku into mainstream media. Yes. And we also, this month, we accomplished the ability to live stream on Apple TV, Fire Stick, and Roku. We want to give a shout out to the folks over there at Boxcast TV. Yes. Yes.
I am
so all
streaming
of our programming, yes, all of our programming will be originating from I Am Streaming and syndicated wherever else they let us in the door. And if they don't let us in, don't worry about it. We can kick it in.
Because we're around the world with all 200 countries. We have access. We got proof.
Wow.
We have evidence. I am streaming. You heard me? Around the world. Uncle Ben, don't mess with my truck. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, until the next time, I'm your host, your boy, comedian Edmund Douglas, right along with my engineer, producer, Robert Lynn Mabin, and of course, Uncle Ben, my DJ sidekick. Until next time, Uncle Ben, don't mess with my truck. Peace, and may God bless you. Man, sit your behind down somewhere.
See, I know the plans for you. No need for you to stress. Come closer to me and find peace in my way. I've shown you the vision for the purpose you've been given. Keep it to yourself, 'cause ain't nobody else's business. Be quiet. You ain't got to tell nobody, just be quiet. Keep it to yourself and be quiet. I'll do the rest if you'll be quiet. shown. Hold tight, tight, tight. Never let go. Everything that you know don't have to be told. Don't let it unfold. Every day there's a choice to choose, and everybody standing close ain't rooting for you. Sometimes they standing close cause they want you to lose, but I already know what I purpose for you. I know to you, upon to you, what I call you to, you'll surely do. If you listen close and play it cool, obey my voice and just follow my rules.
See, I know the plans for you. There's no need for you to stress. Come closer to me and find peace in my way. I'm showing you the vision for the purpose you've been given. Keep it to yourself, cause ain't nobody else's business. Be quiet. You ain't got to tell nobody, just be quiet. Keep it to yourself and be quiet. I'll do the rest if you'll be quiet. Be quiet.
Now everybody can't see what you see, and everybody won't believe in your dream, and everybody running with you this season might not even be on your team. Wait, next year this time, a good friend pretty hard to find. So be sure to guard your heart and mind. Keep an eye on my words so you won't be blind. See, this path will take faith, so take heed to the words I say. No need to run, just wait. I'm right here, I'll lead the way. I know to you, upon to you, and what I call you to, you'll surely do. If you listen close and play it cool, obey my voice and just follow my rules.
See, I know the plans for you. There's no need for you to stress. Come closer to me and find peace in my way. I'm showing you the vision for the purpose you've been given. Keep it to yourself, cause ain't nobody else.